Good afternoon to those who will listen. It is May 15th, 2018, 4:03 p.m., 4:04 p.m. And you got another Israeli news update. The UN and countries from around the world are condemning Israel for using force and bullets, live bullets, tear gas, and rubber bullets against Palestinians. Remember, Israel has warned them not to go near the security fence, and still they did it. There's 60 killed, it was like 2,779 injured. Of the 60 killed, 24 of them were Hamas terrorist leaders. I don't know if they were leaders. And 8 were children. One was an 8-month baby that died from tear gas inhalation. Why in the world is there babies sent to the front lines? Why are children sent to the front lines? To me, that's just a setup by Hamas. That's just stupid. Why would you send children to the front lines to get killed and injured? That's their own fault. And Turkey is in on this too. They expelled the Israeli ambassador and sent him back to Israel, and Israel in turn sent the Turkish ambassador back to Turkey. Turkey is cursing Israel, and we know what it says in the Bible. People that bless Israel will be blessed, and people that curse Israel will be cursed. So we know what happens to Turkey, Iran, and Russia. So here we go.
For Israel, the blame for the bloodshed seen along the Gaza border can be laid squarely on the shoulders of Hamas. The terror group has unambiguously stated that these March of Return rallies are intended for one thing and one thing only: to overrun the state of Israel and claim it for the Palestinians. Meanwhile, many international leaders have slammed Israel for its use of lethal force in containing these clashes. The IDF maintains that it has followed the strictest of protocols and accuses Hamas instead of turning its own civilians into human shields. Army officials say at least 24 of yesterday's casualties were actually Hamas members.
This is a position the White House has fully backed in the wake of yesterday's bloodshed, the worst single day of these protests since they began 6 weeks ago.
Well, we're aware of the reports of continued violence in Gaza today. The responsibility for these tragic deaths rests squarely with Hamas. Hamas is intentionally and cynically provoking this response, and as the Secretary of State said, Israel has the right to defend itself.
And now Australian Prime Minister Malcolm Turnbull backs this up too. For him, Hamas is purposely trying to provoke the IDF in order to intentionally draw fire for its own larger PR war. This position was made more concrete by the fact that Hamas pays protesters to martyr themselves at the front lines and is funded by the Iranian regime. Still, countless world leaders have accused Israel of recklessly using lethal force. Yesterday, 58 Palestinians were reported killed, among them 6 minors, including 1 baby.
Ben bu insanlık dramını, bu soykırımı hangi taraftan olursa olsun, İster Amerika, ister İsrail lanetliyor. Ve buna sessiz kalanlara da kusura bakmayın, onları da lanetliyorum.
Prime Minister Netanyahu has slammed Erdogan's statement, calling him, quote, among Hamas's biggest supporters. There is no doubt that he well understands terrorism and slaughter. I suggest that he not preach morality to us, end quote. South Africa has actually just recalled its ambassador to Israel to protest the IDF's conduct. The international community has demanded at the very least an investigation into these dozens of deaths. The United States has blocked every attempt to date to do so.
Lethal force may only be used as a measure of last, not first, resort, and only when there is an immediate threat to life or serious injury. An attempt to approach or crossing or damaging the Green Line fence do not amount to a threat of to life or serious injury and are not sufficient grounds for the use of live ammunition.
Well, returning now to the studio with more on the rising tensions along the Gaza border is founder and executive director of the Israel Institute for Strategic Studies, Dr. Martin Sherman. Thank you
All right, we'll end it there. But again, you know, Hamas is inciting this, and you know they claim they're peaceful protests, but it's clear to see that they're not peaceful. They don't have to be charging the fence, tearing down the fence, tearing down cameras, setting off explosives, sending kites over with explosives, and sending children to the front lines. So anybody that supports that, you know, that's just wrong. And I hear a lot of people taking the Palestinian side on this, but I'm sorry, but if I'm going to take a side, I'm sticking with Israel, I'm sticking with God, I'm sticking with the Bible. This is what is predicted in the Bible, prophecies would happen, and it's happening. So it's part of Bible prophecy. Remember, don't curse Israel, bless Israel. Thank you for watching. Thanks for subscribing. God bless.